So for Best Week at Television, once again we agreed.
Dollhouse.
Dollhouse was actually the last 2 episodes of Dollhouse. Kind of, I think, trumped pretty much anything was on the last 2 weeks.
Really, really. Which is crazy because all the, like, shows are in the middle of their season finales, and you think this is when they really hype it up and put out their best products, you know, but Dollhouse, this first season show, is just, you know, the last 2 episodes. I have to say, I thought the second to last episode was a little better than the season finale.
Yeah, because they had to kind of...
They had to set up the season finale.
Yeah.
And I thought that was a little bit better. But, you know, the thing about Joss Whedon that we're always talking about is he is one of the very few people left in Hollywood who can surprise you.
Yeah.
He's, you know, personally, I mean, I guess this was a story that was going on the message boards. It never occurred to me that Dr. Saunders could be a doll.
No, me either.
That thought never even crossed my mind. So when it was revealed to us that she was a former doll and she was the most popular doll until Alpha attacked her.
Yeah.
And so they gave her the original Dr. Saunders memories and made her the new doctor. I was like, man, that's brilliant, because I didn't see that coming. So it also gives you a little question as to what will they do with Victor now.
Because he's messed up.
Yeah, because Alpha attacked him. So what will they do with Victor? Will they give him the identity of some security guard? Will they make him the new Mr. Dominic or something?
Yeah. Well, that's the other thing. I think my problem is we live in this society of Dollhouse where you could put memories in people's heads, but you don't have, like, the plastic surgery's not good enough to fix scars. You know?
I'm
small little problem, but I'm willing to forgive that.
I'm sure they could if they wanted to,
well, that's
but there seems to be a reason for everything that they do.
Yeah. Well, the whole setup of the show, these last 2 episodes, was Alpha taking Echo and trying to create, like, an Omega, which is the, you know, the yin-yang.
We should say when Alpha escaped, he was trying to escape and things were going wrong, and as a last-ditch effort to maybe control him, you know, Topher downloaded 43 personalities.
By accident.
Yeah, into him. So he's got, it's not like he has split personalities of 43 people. He has 43 people in his head at all times. And that has given him this idea that he thinks he's a god.
Yeah.
And he wants to create, you know, Echo as, you know, his partner, who he thinks, you know, she's going to be the female version of him.
Well, I think, and that's also his, like, flawed logic, and then that's what really came as the surprise of the show, is found out Alpha was this, you know, psychopath before he became a doll.
Right.
And then the ones they were putting in his head, like the personalities, weren't the nicest people in the world, you know.
Right.
We had, like, that Natural Born Killers one that was in his head.
By the way, why would you hire them to, you want to go on a crime spree with these Natural Born Killer style Mickey and Mallory characters? Like, whose idea of a fantasy?
I think if you do that, it's more that David Duchovny movie California with Brad Pitt.
Like, but that's your fantasy? As much money as we know the Dollhouse must charge?
Just Google fantasies. You can see some really sick crap on that, you know, so I'm sure.
It brings to light the idea that even though they wipe away their personalities and put new people in them, they sort of never really lose the soul of who they are. So since Alpha started out as this psycho serial killer guy, no matter who they put in him, that darkness is always lurking in there.
Yeah.
And whereas Echo or Caroline, she was always sort of this strong activist freedom fighter type, no matter who they put in her, that personality is there.
Yeah.
So when Alpha puts all of her personalities from the season into her, which was a great scene as you got the flashes, the flashbacks of everybody, he puts all those people into her, she's still Caroline at her heart and soul, so she's not going in for his craziness.
Yeah. Well, I think it also helps too is if you have to think of every episode in the past, and every person they put in her was at least, I don't want to say a good-hearted person, but they weren't downright evil or they weren't crazy or anything. They were, you know, like her dead friend, the backup dancer, you know, the girl who grew up because she was abused.
Right.
Strong-willed people that, you know, weren't evil to their core. So I think that kind of helped too. The other good thing was Ballard and Boyd got to team up. We got another buddy cop spin-off in the works.
We didn't mention on the second to last episode, Alpha was pretending to be the creator of the Dollhouse, Stephen Kepler, and just, you know, Alan Tudyk in a fantastic performance. I want to see him and Ballard in their buddy cop drama or comedy. It just was great. But yeah, now we got another one.
And I think the end brought up a lot of questions too. The end was Ballard deciding to work for the Dollhouse in exchange for Millie's life back.
But the idea is that he says to them, you know, I'll work for you if you free this girl. And we, at the beginning, we don't know, really, is he talking about Caroline because he's been so obsessed with her? But then when November walks in, that's who he wants free.
I kind of saw that coming. I just had a feeling like his guilt was so...
Right, because he used her too.
Yeah, he was a client.
Yeah, he knows it. And then also, he is sort of obsessed with Caroline, and... So I'm wondering, is he going to be her new handler now?
Oh, I'm sure he's going to be the new handler.
So that was the end of the show. It's going to come out on DVD, and apparently there are not one, but 2 episodes.
Well, the unaired pilot.
Sure, the unaired pilot, the original pilot that was reworked, and then Epitaph 1.
Which is set in the future.
So you got to get the DVD to see those 2 episodes.
Well, then the news that just came down is Joss Whedon talked to Fox executives this week about he pitches ideas for season 2. And then I was reading just this morning that Fox turned down a bunch of pilots. So there's still a chance. We'll find out next week. I think it's May... Wait, is it May 14th? That's today. Maybe May 17th. We'll find out in the next week.
Check the blog for the updates.
And we'll find out Fox has their upfronts and what happens with that. Another Fox show that was tremendous this week was Fringe. Talk about it real fast. Found out a lot of things. Leonard Nimoy's playing William Bell, who may or may not be the bad guy. He's hiding in this alternate reality, very much like Star Trek. Just rewind, watch part 1, we'll talk about Star Trek. He lives in this parallel universe. And then it comes to find out that Joshua Jackson isn't the Earth 1 Joshua Jackson, he's the Earth 2 Peter Bishop. Which that just, because the whole season we think Walter's crazy because he keeps saying like, oh, do you remember when we did this? And he's like, no, I don't remember that. And you're thinking, oh, the guy's crazy. Then you find out he's not crazy. It's the son who doesn't remember this because he's not from this Earth. So Fringe was great. Check out the DVDs. I think I'm going to try to get Stephanie to watch at least the really not scary episodes.
I'm going to try. I'm telling you right now, I'm going to try to catch up over the summer. When things calm down and we get into the summer, and Fox is great about putting their shows on their website. So I'm going to go online and try to catch up and see if I can get in the French. Yeah,
and then Lost last night had their big finale. Kind of running out of time to talk about that, so we'll have it on the blog. Just read right below this.
Right.
Have a lot about Lost and the game changer, which I think really was not a game changer at all.
All I can say about Lost is they are liars.
They're dirty liars. How dare you? In news, I think the one big news of the week was announced that Bradley Cooper from Alias, he's in the new movie The Hangover, is in the running to be Hal Jordan, the Green Lantern.
And very high on the list, apparently, has tested and everything.
So I like that idea. It's really great.
I think that would be great casting, because I think what we've seen with these movies is if you go with somebody who maybe not completely unknown, but just, you know, known a little bit, it gives them a chance to make the part their own.
The only bad thing is Chris Pine's also in the running, and I think with Star Trek being such a huge hit, that Warner Brothers might be like, now that people know him more than Bradley Cooper, that might be an advantage. But it might also be a disadvantage that he could be busy. They don't want to compete with...
They don't want to have competing franchises.
Exactly. Because they could end up being against each other in the future. So, you know, there's that.
Good on time?
Nope. Let's have our question and we're good to go.
Okay.
We're running out of time, people.
Oh, I didn't realize it. Well, this is a relatively easy question. It's about Wolverine, back to the beginning.
Okay.
Liev Schreiber, who of course plays Sabretooth. He was originally wanted for another part in the film. Which part do you think that was?
Stryker?
Yes, it was Stryker.
All right, good. See, I'm smart. Check out our blog, inscapeblog.blogspot.com. I'm talking fast because we're running out of time. This last one, woo, we thought the ones were going to be beginning were going to be long. All right, so check out the blog. Check out everything else. See you next week.